The giant squid is one of the most mysterious and elusive creatures in the ocean. It is a massive marine cephalopod and is one of the largest invertebrate species in the world. Giant squids are known for their enormous size, with some individuals reaching lengths of up to 43 feet or more, although much of their biology and behavior remain a mystery due to their deep-sea habitat. Here are some key characteristics and information about giant squids. Giant squids are characterized by their immense size. They have long, cylindrical bodies, with a mantle that can reach several feet in length. Their tentacles are lined with suckers and can extend to over 25 feet. Giant squids are deep-sea creatures and are typically found in oceanic waters at great depths. They are known to inhabit depths ranging from 1,000 feet to over 3,000 feet or more. Giant squids are rarely observed alive in their natural habitat. Most of what is known about them comes from carcasses that have washed ashore or from specimens accidentally caught in fishing nets. Giant squids are believed to be carnivorous and primarily feed on other deep-sea creatures, such as fish and smaller squid species. Their feeding habits and prey preferences are not well documented. While little is known about the predators of giant squids, they are thought to be preyed upon by large marine mammals, such as sperm whales. Sperm whales are known to have battle scars from encounters with giant squids. The giant squid is often confused with the colossal squid, which is another enormous and deep-sea dwelling squid species. The two species have some differences in size, appearance, and habitat, with the colossal squid being even larger and more elusive. Very little is known about the reproduction and life cycle of giant squids. They are thought to be semiparous, meaning they reproduce only once in their lifetime. Like other deep-sea creatures, giant squids are believed to have the ability to produce bioluminescence, which they may use for communication or attracting prey. Despite their rarity, scientists continue to study and learn more about giant squids by analyzing the limited specimens that have been captured or recovered. Giant squids have captured the imagination of people for centuries and have often been the subject of myths and legends. Modern scientific advancements have allowed for a better understanding of these enigmatic creatures, but many aspects of their biology and behavior remain shrouded in mystery due to the deep-sea depths in which they reside. Sea hares are a type of marine gastropod mollusk that belongs to the group Anaspidia. They are known for their distinctive appearance, including their elongated bodies and large, ear-like appendages known as parapodia. Sea hares are unique and fascinating creatures with several interesting features. Sea hares come in various shapes and sizes, but they generally have elongated, soft bodies with a pair of large, wing-like parapodia on the dorsal side. These parapodia resemble the floppy ears of a hare, hence the name sea hare. Their colors and patterns can vary, and some species are strikingly colorful. Sea hares have a remarkable defense mechanism. When threatened, they can release a vivid, ink-like secretion, known as purple ink or opaline, into the water. This secretion serves to confuse or deter potential predators. Sea hares are herbivores and feed on various types of marine algae and seaweed. They have a radula, a specialized feeding structure, with which they scrape and consume algae from rocks or other surfaces. They breathe through gills located within their parapodia. The gills are well-vascularized structures that help extract oxygen from the surrounding water. Sea hares are found in a variety of marine habitats, from shallow intertidal zones to deeper offshore waters. They often inhabit areas with abundant algae and seagrasses, which are their primary food source. Sea hares are hermaphrodites, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. During mating, two sea hares exchange sperm packets, and each individual can later lay a cluster of gelatinous egg masses. These egg masses may resemble small, translucent grapes and contain numerous developing embryos. The lifespan of sea hares can vary, but they typically live for a few years. Sea hares have been studied for their unique nervous system and their potential for revealing insights into the field of neurobiology. Their large and relatively simple neural circuitry has made them valuable in neurological research. Sea hares are an intriguing group of marine mollusks, and their distinct appearance and defensive ink secretion have earned them a place in marine biology and the realm of marine life enthusiasts. They are important components of marine ecosystems, particularly in their roles as herbivores, and they contribute to the overall health of underwater environments. Geoducks, pronounced gooey ducks, are a type of large, edible saltwater clam native to the Pacific Northwest of North America. They are notable for their long, siphon-like neck, which can extend up to several feet in length. Geoducks are the largest burrowing clams in the world and are known for their unique appearance and culinary significance. Here are some key characteristics and information about geoducks. Geoducks are among the largest of all clams, with the neck often exceeding 3 feet in length. The neck is soft, cylindrical, and can be buried deep in the substrate, with just the tip exposed. The shell of a geoduck is relatively small in comparison to the size of the clam's neck. It is usually about 6 inches in length and has a round, wrinkled appearance. Geoducks are primarily found in sandy or muddy sediments in intertidal and subtidal zones, often in bays, inlets, and along the coastline of the Pacific Northwest, including Washington State, British Columbia, and Alaska. Geoducks are filter feeders and obtain their food by extending their long necks into the surrounding sediment to reach plankton and detritus. They pump water through their siphon, filter out particles, and expel clean water. Geoducks are among the longest-lived animals on Earth. They can live for well over a century, with some individuals estimated to be more than 100 years old. Geoducks are separate-sexed, with both male and female individuals. They release eggs and sperm into the water, where fertilization takes place. The larvae that hatch from the fertilized eggs are planktonic and undergo several stages before settling to the seafloor to grow into adult geoducks. Geoduck meat is considered a delicacy and is highly sought after in Asian cuisine, particularly in dishes like sashimi and seafood hot pot. The meat has a unique texture and a mild, sweet flavor. Commercial harvesting of geoducks is an important industry in the Pacific Northwest. It involves carefully digging the clams from the seafloor and then returning them to the ocean after harvest. Sustainable management practices are in place to ensure the long-term health of geoduck populations. Geoducks are both ecologically and economically important. Their long lifespan and ability to filter large volumes of water contribute to the health of marine ecosystems. The distinct appearance and culinary appeal of geoduck meat have made them a sought-after seafood in various parts of the world. Limpets are a type of marine gastropod mollusk that belongs to the family Patellidae. They are characterized by their low, conical shells and their ability to tightly adhere to rocks and other hard surfaces in the intertidal and shallow subtidal zones of the ocean. Limpets are found in various coastal regions worldwide and have several interesting features. Limpets have a conical or cap-shaped shell that is typically very low, which allows them to cling closely to rocks. The shell is often smooth and may be ribbed or grooved. The shape of the shell helps protect the limpet from desiccation and predators. Limpets are well known for their strong attachment to rocks. They use a muscular foot to create a suction-like seal against the substrate, which enables them to resist the force of crashing waves and helps prevent them from drying out during low tides. Limpets are herbivorous and feed on algae and other microscopic marine organisms. They have a specialized feeding structure called a radula, which they use to scrape algae from the surface of rocks. Their feeding marks are often visible on the rocks. Limpets are primarily found in intertidal zones, where they are exposed to both air and water during the tidal cycle. They are well adapted to this challenging environment, with their strong adhesion and resistance to desiccation. Limpets have a relatively sedentary lifestyle. They graze on algae within a specific home range, often returning to the same spot on the rock after foraging. Limpets are usually dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization takes place externally when eggs and sperm are released into the water. After hatching, limpet larvae undergo a planktonic stage before settling on the substrate and growing into adults. Limpets are preyed upon by a variety of organisms, including birds, crabs, sea stars, and other marine animals. To avoid predators, they often graze during high tides when they are submerged and seek refuge under their shells. Limpets are ecologically important as they help control the growth of algae in intertidal areas, contributing to the health of coastal ecosystems. They are also of interest to ecologists studying how species adapt to and thrive in challenging environments, such as the dynamic intertidal zone. Argonauts, also known as argonaut octopuses or paper nautiluses, are a group of fascinating marine cephalopods belonging to the family Argonautidae. Unlike most other octopuses, argonauts have an unusual method of buoyancy and shell use that sets them apart. Here are some key characteristics and information about argonauts. Argonauts are unique among octopuses in that they secrete and use an external, paper-thin, coiled, and chambered shell. The shell is light and buoyant and helps the argonaut to control its position in the water column. It is primarily used by female argonauts, while males do not have a shell. Argonauts have a transparent, gelatinous body, with large eyes and webbed arms. The females can grow to be significantly larger than the males, reaching lengths of up to 10 inches or more, while males are much smaller. The argonaut's shell is used to adjust buoyancy. By controlling the amount of gas trapped within the shell chambers, the argonaut can regulate its position in the water column, allowing it to rise or sink as needed. Argonauts are typically found in warm and temperate oceans, often in open waters away from the seafloor. They are pelagic, meaning they live in the open ocean, and they are capable of swimming or drifting using their webbed arms. Argonauts are carnivorous and feed on a diet of small fish, plankton, and other small marine organisms that they capture using their long, slender arms. Reproduction in argonauts is complex. Males transfer sperm packets to females using a specialized arm, called a hectocotylus. Females then use the sperm to fertilize their eggs. After fertilization, females lay their eggs in their shell chambers, creating a protective environment for the developing embryos. The female will then release the egg case into the open ocean, where it floats until the young argonauts hatch and emerge as miniature adults. The argonaut's distinctive shell has been prized as a collector's item and has been historically used in various forms of art and craftwork. Argonauts are notable for their unique reproductive strategies, their external shells, and their ability to adapt to the open ocean environment. They continue to be of scientific interest, and their complex life history and behavior are subjects of ongoing research. Turban snails are a group of marine gastropod mollusks known for their distinctive, coiled shells with a shape that resembles a turban or a top. These snails belong to the family Turbinidae, and they are found in various coastal regions around the world. Here are some key characteristics and information about turban snails. Turban snails are named for the unique shell shape, which is generally conical or top-shaped, with a flattened spiral and a high, pointed apex. The shells can have various patterns and colors, often with intricate designs. Turban snails are primarily marine snails and are commonly found in intertidal and subtidal zones, where they live on rocky surfaces, corals, and other hard substrates. They are often associated with shallow, tropical waters, but they can also inhabit temperate regions. Turban snails are herbivores and primarily graze on algae and other microscopic marine organisms. They use a radula, a specialized feeding structure, to scrape and consume algae from the surfaces of rocks and other substrates. Turban snails have a muscular foot that allows them to move slowly across surfaces in search of food. They use a combination of muscular contractions and mucus secretions to glide over substrates. Turban snails breathe through gills located within their shells. These gills extract oxygen from the surrounding water, and waste carbon dioxide is expelled. Turban snails are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization occurs internally, with the transfer of sperm from the male to the female. Females lay eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae that eventually settle and grow into adult snails. Turban snails are preyed upon by a variety of marine animals, including certain fish, crabs, and sea stars. They have developed various mechanisms to avoid predation, such as hiding in crevices or retreating into their shells. Turban snails, like many marine mollusks, are of interest to scientists studying marine ecosystems and biodiversity. They play a role in maintaining the balance of coastal ecosystems by controlling algae growth. Turban snails are valued not only for their ecological roles but also for their aesthetic appeal. Their striking shell shapes and colors make them popular among collectors and are sometimes used in jewelry and decorative crafts. The Humboldt squid, also known as the jumbo squid, jumbo flying squid, or Dosidicus gigas, is a large and highly aggressive species of squid found in the waters of the eastern Pacific Ocean, particularly along the coasts of North, Central, and South America. Humboldt squid are known for their impressive size, predatory behavior, and the unique ability to change color rapidly. Here are some key characteristics and information about Humboldt squid. Humboldt squid are among the largest of all squid species. They can grow to lengths of up to 7 feet or more and weigh as much as 100 pounds. These squid are known for their remarkable ability to change color rapidly, allowing them to blend in with their surroundings or communicate with other members of their species. They can range in color from reddish-brown to white or pink. Humboldt squid inhabit the eastern Pacific Ocean, primarily in the waters off the coasts of North, Central, and South America. They are often found at depths ranging from the surface down to several hundred meters. Humboldt squid are voracious predators that feed on a variety of marine organisms, including fish, crustaceans, and other squid. They are known for their aggressive hunting behavior, and they often hunt in groups. These squid are capable of swift and coordinated attacks on prey. They are known to employ a flashlighting technique, which involves producing bioluminescent light from specialized organs on their bodies to disorient prey and reveal their location. Humboldt squid have a relatively short lifespan, typically living for less than 2 years. They reproduce by laying eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae before settling and growing into adult squid. Humboldt squid are known to exhibit cannibalistic behavior, with larger individuals sometimes preying on smaller members of their own species. Humboldt squid are commercially fished in some regions for their meat and ink. They are commonly used in various dishes, including ceviche and calamari. Humboldt squid are often found in large shoals or groups. They are highly social and may communicate with one another through complex body patterns, color changes, and bioluminescent displays. Humboldt squid are of interest to marine biologists and fishermen alike due to the unique characteristics, including their aggressive hunting behavior, rapid color changes, and their role in marine food webs. Their ability to migrate and their interactions with other species in the ocean make them a subject of ongoing scientific research. Paper nautiluses, also known as paper nautilus or argonaut octopuses, are a group of fascinating marine cephalopods that belong to the family Argonautidae. They are closely related to octopuses, but they have some unique characteristics that set them apart. Here are some key characteristics and information about paper nautiluses. Paper nautiluses, particularly the females, are known for their external, paper-thin, coiled shells. These shells are often referred to as paper shells. The shells are extremely lightweight and buoyant and are used by females as a protective chamber for their eggs. Males do not have an external shell. The body of a paper nautilus is relatively small in comparison to the size of its shell. The females have a transparent, gelatinous body and a pair of webbed arms. Males are much smaller and do not possess the distinctive shell. Paper nautiluses are pelagic, which means they live in the open ocean. They are primarily found in tropical and subtropical waters in open ocean regions. The buoyancy of paper nautiluses is controlled by the gas-filled chambers within their external shells. By adjusting the amount of gas in these chambers, they can regulate their position in the water column, allowing them to float on the surface or dive to deeper depths. Paper nautiluses are believed to be carnivorous and feed on small prey, such as tiny fish, crustaceans, and zooplankton, which they capture using their arms. Reproduction in paper nautiluses is complex. Males transfer sperm packets to females using a specialized arm called a hectocotylus. Females use the sperm to fertilize their eggs, which are laid inside their shell chambers. The females then release the buoyant egg cases into the open ocean, where they float on the surface until the young paper nautiluses hatch and emerge as miniature adults. Like many pelagic creatures, paper nautiluses have several natural predators, including larger marine animals such as fish and birds. The distinctive and delicate shells of paper nautiluses have been prized as collector's items and have been historically used in various forms of art and crafts. Paper nautiluses are captivating creatures due to their unique reproductive strategies, their external shells, and their adaptation to the open ocean environment. They are of scientific interest and have been studied to gain insights into their behavior, ecology, and physiology. Razor clams are a group of bivalve mollusks belonging to the family Solenidae. These marine clams are known for their elongated, razor-shaped shells, from which they get their name. Razor clams are highly valued for their meat, which is often considered a delicacy and used in various culinary dishes. Here are some key characteristics and information about razor clams. Razor clams have distinctive, elongated, and cylindrical shells that resemble the shape of a straight razor. The shells are often smooth and glossy, with a characteristic keyhole, or razor, shape. Razor clams are typically found in sandy or muddy substrates along the shorelines of oceans and seas. They are known for inhabiting intertidal zones, which means they are often exposed at low tide and burrow into the sand to avoid desiccation. Razor clams are excellent burrowers. They use their strong foot to dig rapidly into the sand or mud. They create U-shaped burrows that can be several feet deep, extending vertically down into the substrate. Razor clams are filter feeders, primarily consuming plankton, detritus, and other small particles from the surrounding water. They extend their siphons to the surface of the sand to filter water for food. While razor clams are adept at burrowing into the sand, they are not highly mobile once they have established their burrows. They tend to stay within their burrows and extend their siphons to filter feed. Razor clams are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization occurs externally when eggs and sperm are released into the water. The fertilized eggs develop into planktonic larvae, which later settle on the seabed and grow into adult clams. The meat of razor clams is considered a delicacy in many coastal cuisines around the world. It is often used in various dishes, including chowders, pastas, and stir-fries. The meat is known for its tender texture and sweet, slightly briny flavor. Razor clams are commercially harvested in some regions, often using specialized tools designed to extract them from the sand. Sustainable management practices are implemented to ensure the health of razor clam populations. Razor clams are appreciated for their culinary value and are popular among seafood enthusiasts. Their unique burrowing behavior and habitat make them a fascinating part of coastal ecosystems. They are of ecological significance, contributing to sediment and water quality through their filter feeding activities. Triton's trumpet, scientifically known as Charonia tritonus, is a large marine gastropod mollusk or sea snail belonging to the family Ranellidae. It is one of the most iconic and visually striking sea snails due to its impressive size, ornate shell, and unique hunting behavior. Triton's trumpet is found in warm, tropical waters and is often associated with coral reefs. Here are some key characteristics and information about Triton's trumpet. Triton's trumpet has a large, beautifully sculpted shell that is elongated and spiral in shape. The shell is typically creamy white with brown or dark brown markings, which can vary in pattern and intensity. The opening of the shell is narrow and tapers to a pointed tip. These sea snails are among the largest gastropods in the world, with shells that can reach lengths of up to 2 feet or more. The size of Triton's trumpet shells makes them highly distinctive. Triton's trumpet is a carnivorous predator that feeds on other mollusks, particularly the crown-of-thorns starfish, which is known to be destructive to coral reefs. Tritons' trumpets are equipped with a long, extendable proboscis that they use to locate and capture their prey. They can inject a venom into their prey to immobilize it before consuming it. Triton's trumpet is typically found in coral reef ecosystems and is often associated with sandy or rocky substrates. They prefer warm, tropical waters and are most commonly encountered in the Indo-Pacific region. These sea snails are mobile and can crawl along the substrate using their muscular foot. They are known to be both nocturnal and diurnal, being active during both day and night. Triton's trumpets are hermaphroditic, meaning they have both male and female reproductive organs. They lay eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor and growing into adult snails. Triton's trumpet populations have faced pressure from overharvesting, as their shells are highly sought after by collectors and artisans for their intricate beauty. In some areas, regulations have been put in place to protect these snails from overexploitation. Triton's trumpet is not only admired for its ornate shell, but also for its role in coral reef ecosystems by helping control populations of the crown-of-thorns starfish, which can have a detrimental impact on coral reefs. These striking sea snails play an important ecological role in maintaining the health and balance of reef systems. Wentletraps traps are a group of small, sea snails belonging to the family Epitoniidae, known for their intricate, spiral-shaped shells. These shells are highly ornate, often with delicate, spiral ridges and patterns. Wentletraps traps are typically found in marine environments and are known for their captivating shell designs. Here are some key characteristics and information about Wentletraps traps. Wentletrap trap shells are coiled in a spiral, resembling a miniature turret or a winding staircase. The shells are typically elongated and have a pointed tip. The term Wentletrap is derived from the Dutch word wenteltrap, which means spiral staircase or winding stairs. Wentletrap shells are generally small, typically measuring less than an inch in length. Their petite size adds to their charm and delicacy. What sets Wentletraps apart is the intricate and often striking ornamentation on their shells. The shells may feature fine spiral ridges, whorls, and sculptural patterns, giving them an elegant appearance. Wentletraps are marine snails and are typically found in sandy or muddy substrates in coastal and shallow waters. They are commonly associated with coral reefs, seagrass beds, and intertidal zones. Wentletraps are detritivores, meaning they primarily feed on small organic particles and detritus found in the sediments of the ocean floor. They use a specialized radula, a feeding structure, to scrape and consume these particles. These snails have a muscular foot that allows them to crawl across the substrate in search of food or suitable habitat. However, they are not highly mobile compared to some other marine snails. Wentletraps are typically dioecious, with separate male and female individuals. They reproduce by laying eggs, which develop into planktonic larvae before settling on the ocean floor and growing into adult snails. The intricate and visually appealing shells of Wentletraps have made them popular among shell collectors and enthusiasts. Collectors often prize rare or elaborately ornamented specimens. Wentletraps are admired for their ornate shells and are sometimes used in decorative arts, jewelry, and crafts due to their aesthetic appeal. They are a charming and visually striking component of marine ecosystems, where their delicate shells contribute to the diversity of forms and patterns in the natural world. Bubble snails, scientifically known as the family Bullidae, are a group of small to medium-sized marine gastropod mollusks. They are often recognized for their distinct, bubble-like or globular shells, which give them the common name. Bubble snails are found in various marine environments and are known for their unique characteristics. Here are some key characteristics and information about bubble snails. Bubble snails have shells that are typically globose or rounded, resembling a bubble or a small balloon. The shells are smooth and may be translucent, often with a glossy appearance. These snails are relatively small, with shell diameters usually ranging from a few millimeters to a few centimeters, depending on the species. Bubble snails are marine gastropods and can be found in various coastal and shallow water environments, including rocky shores, intertidal zones, seagrass beds, and sandy or muddy substrates. Bubble snails are herbivores and feed on a diet of algae, including diatoms and other microalgae. They use a radula, a specialized feeding structure, to scrape and consume algae from the surfaces of rocks and other substrates. These snails have a muscular foot that allows them to crawl over surfaces in search of food. While they are not known for fast or extensive mobility, they are adapted to their specific habitat. Bubble snails respire through gills, extracting oxygen from the water in which they live. Their gills are usually located in the posterior part of the body. Bubble snails are typically dioecious, meaning they have separate male and female individuals. Fertilization typically occurs through the release of eggs and sperm into the water, leading to the development of planktonic larvae before settling and growing into adult snails. Bubble snails are of interest to marine biologists and researchers studying the biodiversity and ecology of coastal and intertidal ecosystems. They play a role in algae grazing and contribute to the overall balance of these environments. While bubble snails may not be as well known as some other marine snail species, the unique and attractive shell shapes make them an intriguing component of marine ecosystems. They showcase the diversity of forms and adaptations that have evolved in the world of gastropod mollusks.